to all Aligned to Enlightened followers. My name is Edward. This week's blog discussion is entitled, The Answer is You. You are the solution to your greatest problem. How many of you watching this video right now can readily identify an issue or a problem that's going on in your life right now, whether it is having a direct impact on your life or an indirect impact on your life? For example, maybe you like to see racism eradicated off of the planet, right? Or maybe you like to have an end to terrorism. Maybe you like to see an end to poverty or homelessness. Or maybe you would like to have more sustained and fulfilling relationships in your personal and business lives, right? Whatever the issue is or whatever the problem is that you have identified in your life, I'm here to suggest that you are the solution to that problem. What I've learned along my journey up to this point is that we tend to look outside of ourselves for someone else to fix what we have identified as a problem. Right now, we're trying to elect a president with the hopes in mind that he will eradicate or cure the ills of society, right? We look at our significant others. We look to our husband. We look to our wife, our children, maybe a family member or a friend to do something about the problems that we have. We look for them to change their behavior or to, come in and resolve our issues that we are presented with. When in actuality, we are our own problem solvers, right? We are our own issue fixers, if you will. So right at this juncture in the video, I'd like to make just 2 points. One of them is that, or number one, the first point is that whenever you give someone else whenever you look to someone else to solve an issue that you have, you disempower and de-energize your own God-given talent and skill that you were born with to fix your own problem, right? I'd like to say that again. Whenever we look to someone else to fix our problems, we disempower and de-energize our own God-given talents and strengths and skills that we were born with to affect change on our own lives. The second point, which is similar to the first, is that we also can never or should never look to something outside of ourselves to fix what's going on the inside of us, right? We can't have a problem, identify a problem, and then look for someone else to fix the problem, right? So what I believe at this point along my journey is that I am my own problem, and more importantly, I am my own solution. And so I know right now, as you hear this, you might say, well, wait a minute, Edward, how is it that you are your own problem as it relates to racism, terrorism, crime? If I identify these things as a problem, then how am I my own problem, right? And the answer to that question is fairly simple, and we've heard it 1,000 times. If you're not part of the solution to a problem, then you are part of the problem. You are a contributing factor to the problem. And so, what I've also learned is that any problem that I've had, they have been mine to survey and mine to solve, right? Any problem that I've had in any point in my life, I don't care how big they've been or how small they've been, once I have identified it as a problem or an issue, something that I don't like, something that I desire to see different, it is at that point for me to survey it and to solve it. Survey it by determining how severe it is, surveying it to make an assessment as to how much I would allow it to have an impact on my life. That's what I mean by survey. And then at that point, the The immediate responsibility to me is to provide or to offer a solution to my own problem. So again, how is it that you are your own problem if we're dealing with topics that we're not directly involved with, like racism, terrorism, crime, healthcare, these types of things? How is it that we can be a solution to our own problems if someone else is imposing their will upon us, or someone else is imposing their will upon something that we're observing? How can we identify ourselves as the problem to that, and and offer a solution to something like that? And the problem here again is fairly simple. There are four things that we want to offer that will that we believe will have an impact on these issues. Number one is to accept. When you see a problem, when you're faced with an issue, when you have identified something as important to you that you wish to see different, the first thing you have to do is accept it. And accepting it does not mean condoning it. Accepting it does not mean sympathizing with it. Accepting it means simply you identified it. It is what it is. You're not at that point fighting against it or judging it or offering any definition to it. You just accept it, and that's it. The second step is, once you've accepted it, is to change your thinking about it. Change the way that you view this particular thing. This has tremendous power. If you can, for a moment, when you're presented with a problem, or when you're looking out into this world, into this culture, and you see something that you wish was different, if you could change your perspective about it at that particular moment and look at this thing from the point of your inner being, right? Instead of how you may be looking at it from an ego standpoint, try to look at it from the point of how your inner being is looking at it. And the third step is to expose and challenge all assumptions, right? This is also very important. This involves a paradigm shift. How many times have you been faced with something and had a thought about it, a feeling about it, only to get more information and then have a different feeling about it, right? And so just because something is presented to you, you may or may not have all of the information. You may or may not have everything that you need to make a sound decision about what to do about it, right? So the third thing is to expose and challenge all the assumptions that you have on this particular problem. The last and most important step to me is to be what you wish to see, right? We've heard this before, but it can't be understated. Anything that you desire to see in another person, anything that you desire to change in a culture, in a society, anything that you desire to see in your home, in your community, or abroad, you must be that which you wish to see. Be the living example for what it is that you wish to see. Be the walking example of harmony, of unity, of love, of peace, if you want to see racism and terrorism eradicated, right? Be what you want, what you wish to see. You know, when we think about, we've learned this throughout history, when we think about the great leaders of the past, and what would it look like, for example, if Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, any of these great leaders that were once here, galvanizing their resources to elect a president, to elect a government official, to affect the change that they wish to see, right? It just wouldn't happen. So you just have to take responsibility for the things that you desire to see differently and begin to exemplify that. So in closing, just three things to remember, three things to take away from this video. Number one, the answer is you. You are the solution to your greatest problem. Number two, stop disempowering yourself and de-energizing your own God-given strengths, talents, and skills by depending on someone else to solve your problems. And number three, be what you wish to see. Okay? So we greet you in peace as we leave. We ask that you check us out on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, and go to our blog site at aligntoenlighten.wordpress.com. Thank you.